Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I'm going to elaborate or update, maybe a bit of both, this that I've been talking about for how many months now? Actually years. I think I first mentioned something of this on stuff that I've seen online, okay, for years off and on. Yeah, but what I want to ask, okay, what would you think a sociologist like me, my master's degree is in sociology, what do you think a sociology would suggest to people who are online, like online communities, and I've been mentioning these with all these battles and wars going on between one another, and like the true crime community versus commentators, reviewers, toasters, not toasters, where's a toaster in there? Roasters is what I meant. And let's see, drama community, all these, having problems, some mixed, having problems with one another, and like one side is bad-mouthing the other one, and the other one now is bad-mouthing them. Groups of people, sometimes individuals, whatever it is, fighting with one, this kind of fight online, making videos. And all the people who are on their side, they're flying monkeys or otherwise. But, let's just call them what people call them, narcissistic flying monkeys, and it doesn't have to be narcissistic. Yeah. Okay, so what would a sociologist suggest? One that was into research as a, observer, but a participant observer. Boy, I'm having fun lately. But what would they, with my pronunciation, wow, here it goes again. But what would they do? What would they say? What would someone suggest? I know what I would, but not exactly. Because this kind of thing has so many different maybes, different who's doing what to whom and why, and all kinds of twisted, and there's a lot of, involves money. Money. And who is the one? And this is the point on this one, is about, what about if they aren't motivated by money, like me? Now, I don't get that into it. I don't give names of channels, or if they're on some other, there are other platforms. And I don't say which platforms most often. Or their name, like I said, name a channel. I always call all of them channels, no matter what it is, because I don't know all the other ones. What do they call it on this one or that one or whatever? And some weren't even all that popular. Yeah, and that many people would even know. I'm on one that many people too, actually, but I'm seldom, like once a year. I better check into that. But anyway, so I just call them channels. They're making videos. It's a channel to me. And, no matter what, I don't really identify, because I don't really say it's them. It's this person in this channel, this whatever name they go by, handle. YouTube has these handles now. But I don't do that. Tend not to. I don't think I ever have, really, on any of these kinds of things. And 8 years on my original channel, starting back 8 years ago. Over 8 years. Anyway, okay. I should probably say this about the pronunciation being off, and it's because of a dental issue. Okay. Now, maybe if I went to my dentist, yeah. I keep forgetting conveniently. Anyway, let's see. So what I'm seeing lately myself is that these battles are they're heating up. And I've seen some of them, and pretty much they follow the same kind of pattern over all these years. And I was first on anything you would consider a social media platform in 1990, and ever since then. So I've seen plenty of these kinds of things, but it wasn't always involving money. Some of it was different reasons than just money, or not at all involving money. So, but they follow practically a script. Some deviate a little bit from it, but not all that much. But this one, I have a feeling that some people who are involved in this, they don't realize that some people have seen this quite a bit over the years, and these are the kind of people I identify with myself because of my roots in social media platforms, social media at all together, internet, World Wide Web, all that, going back to 1990 and some before then. It's the geeks, who used to be just called the geeks. Okay, these don't have to be programmers or so on and so forth, but they were like they were people like me that way back then were telnetting, putting my computer together, telnetting to somebody else's, and they could go into mine and I could go into theirs to a certain extent, and and all that. Okay, the ones who were there before it was there. Really, seriously, way back 1990 and such. So, yeah, nothing like it is today. Back then, no. Okay, and overall, it surprised me because it kind of fit in a story that I was yet another one that I was developing into my mind, and I have years ago started it about. Okay, I didn't know if that was going to be a kid or teenager or what, but anyway, or an adult that walked up so I don't put other people's kids in my videos. But anyway, one of the things I was thinking was that some of these like original geeks, the original geeks. It's part of my actual hypothetical-fictional story. But some of them were going to get tired of it, and you would see them become more prominent. That they're there, and there's. How do you put it? What would be the best way to put it? Okay, it's sky time because there's too much activity going on, but that's why you're looking at the sky. Anyway, you might like to see that cross, crisscross up there. People like me are tired of seeing this crap as it developed. This isn't what I know. I was a member of these. These were like, I would say hundreds, but thousands, really, of people back then who were doing this, and getting it. Really, the ones who were the pioneers and the pioneer women, starting this stuff up, getting it. I knew people in Canada and so on and so forth back then, but this isn't what it was supposed to be. Was trashy people. I mean, their mouth, every sentence is an F-bomb, and the mentality is that twisted logic, that illusory pattern perception, believing in pseudo-profound bullshit, and that's the actual term in the research I found. And then they're putting out there this misinformation, disinformation. They're putting out hate, racism, sexism, ageism plus, those negative isms, as I say. And they're just throwing it out there willy-nilly. Oh yeah, we'll accept that. Yeah, anything. Like I was thinking today, what was it? Oh, let me see. I got some notes. Let me see. Yeah, about people simply believing what somebody says just because it might it might make for good drama or gossip, speculation against these people, those people, and it doesn't have to be online, but it could be like a reality TV show, and then they take it from that reality TV show or news or whatever, and they bring it to social media, and all the people that are sitting there just waiting, ooh, yeah, gossip, ooh, yeah, let's make fun of them, oh, I get my jollies out of it, that kind of people, and then they go from there. That wasn't what it was supposed to be about. And I know nobody owns it, nobody is, the ones who have that say, but I'm telling you, I don't know anybody who thought, oh, let's make a place for people to talk trash about one another. I cannot imagine anybody, that at least the ones I knew, hundreds, who would think that way. And we had those from many, many kind of, you might say these days, genres. Cliques. Man, seriously. I mean, you had your scary to your just sweet, angelic people that actually were, and so many points in between. The devils and the, really, seriously, just imagine, on and on. But it wasn't anything like this, and it's so pathetic to see it now, to see people doing these things. Now, what I'm saying is, that kind of person, and it would be like I said, so many genres. I'm having fun using that word, but there's so many that certain ones within it would be the ones who would say, and put their foot down. Not all of them. Some would say, to each their own. I've always been more of a to each their own, and to an extent. Okay. Yeah, there's some things that just, no. Anyway, so what I have seen, it's just so funny not funny in a ha-ha way, but just odd way, that I'm thinking these things, and all of a sudden I'm recommended, channels. Of course, I understand how things are recommended, but to be thinking it, and then all of a sudden there it is. And I get this feeling that there are others out there, like the nerds, we call them nerds and geeks, or people did. Geek was a dirty 4-letter word back then. But we called, they called us, dirty 4-letter word, but we called them non-modems. How many people know what a modem is these days? But anyway, and just had just as much disdain, I guess you would say, for some of them. Some just thought it was funny. But anyway, so what, let me get back to this. I got distracted because somebody was walking by. Yeah, it became a habit. But yeah, for some people, it's like this. And I can see that they like I said, those original ones, and these are people who are my age, around my age, now, of course, but this type, and they say, this is going to end, this is, legally, they do everything legally, and they're going to put a stop to it, legally. And you have to wonder, and I've already mentioned this before in other videos, okay, why do the people who are really involved in it, why don't they put a stop to it? They know that these things are against terms of service or community guidelines and or whatever. They know that they should report it. They know that this is harmful to people. They're saying it is. So why aren't they putting a stop to it by doing what they know they need to do? Because of money. That's what some would say. Sum it all up. Clicks and views. They're going to use it and do it, and then they'll come up like they're real, what is the word? They're real honorable or something, I would never go real life with it. Well, guess what? It's all real life, people. Stop that crap. But anyways, like, that makes them so, there's so many words I'm thinking, but I'm not sure which one would be best to use. Dignified or ethical. No, I'm sorry. Ethical is not doing what needs to be done legally. It's not defined that way. It's your ethical if you don't do what you need to do legally. Get off them. Some of the ways that they frame these things just so they can keep making and getting the clicks and views. Allegedly. Yeah. Now, like I was saying, that not everybody who would be one of these geeks would do something like that. Would go and do something legally. And that's for different reasons, because some of them, like myself, I would not be able to do something, well, I can't say that I wouldn't, but I wouldn't want to go too deep because of my health concerns, the stress and all that. But if I had to, I would. But if I don't have to, if I know that there are other people who are doing that are, maybe younger, better health, they have that energy, that is their main focus on everything, is to combat pure evil. That's the video, I think, that I did years ago, Combat Pure Evil. And just for the record, I've said this before and I'll say it again, pure evil, I don't think of it in some mystical, magical way. I'm a social and behavioral scientist. I have degrees in both psychology and sociology. And the way I'm looking at it is these are people who could be diagnosed, perhaps, with a personality disorder but the feeling to it, how would I put it? I've been questioning myself, how would I exactly put that? It's more of, I don't believe in those kinds of things, but how would it be? Like, like you use along the line of the karma and all that. I don't believe in karma. I believe that society eventually starts to take care of itself. Often, not always. But along this line, that it's what it's emitting, this feeling, this negativity, this, like, it's just scary, frightening, freaky, creepy. I'm trying to simplify it even. I'm in trouble. But you get the gist. It's just like, ooh, that kind of person you would not want to even forget it. It doesn't have to be in a dark alley. It can be in broad daylight right here, like right where I'm sitting, because they are that evil. They just emit evilness. Pure. Okay? Yeah. Okay, anyway. But I see this, and I was seeing this, like I said, and all of a sudden I'm recommended, to where I'm seeing that it's true. I had to watch some videos to say, wow, because it does seem, and I had never seen them before, ever, that some of them are really hyping it up. They've had enough of this type of filth. And they're very, anyway. But I have a thought on that too. And I have tested it years ago. That, I think this is pretty obvious to many people. This part is that, like, say, here I am, I'm in north central Texas, just north of Dallas. And people who would watch me, how do I actually put it? Here I am again. How do I actually put it? But like I'm allowed certain areas or something. Certain areas are recommended to me, and I'm recommended to certain areas in wherever. It's not just here in North Central Texas. And my videos are recommended to people here. They could be all over the world, but just in certain areas. This is my thought, and I could be very, very wrong on this because that's not my area. But also for me, it was often California. Seriously. I don't think I was ever recommending anybody in Texas. Imagine that. Certain parts of Canada and Florida, I think. And then some in the northeast United States. But not many. Now, what I did one time, because I was always like, there's bound to be other people doing these kinds of videos. And so I started searching the title of the video and the city, not city, but state, and sometimes country. And then I would be recommended some from those areas. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to get at in this one is there are a lot of people that you wouldn't even know exist. Like there might be this one battle going on in this true crime, and the leading person or people or whatever they dislike, you might not see that there are also this group, also that group, because you may never see any of them, and any of them that are going to be recommended, because the one that you look at is the one you're going to continue being recommended from that group. And whether that group is just from the true crime or the drama or the reviewers, the roasters. Why do I keep trying to say toaster? But you see, and you're not going to know that there's one here and there's one there and there's one there unless you do something a little different, like what I'm saying I did. Put the country or the state. And all of a sudden, whoa, I didn't know these people. I don't know any of these people. Who are they talking about? And then you fall down that rabbit hole. I could be very wrong about all of this, like I said. Okay, so now the one, one of the ones that was, one of them that was recommended to me is talking, and this has happened before too, is talking about a group I've never heard of. You know, that they're against these, I don't know how many, and I can't, I wasn't able to find who they were talking about, because, you know, like, people may say, like my channel that's Narcissism Simplified, that's what I plan on putting this on. They might just call me, instead of, you know, I say my name Grace, they may just say Grace. You know, when Grace talks about that, they're not saying the name of the channel, and they're not putting it in the description, you know, a URL, a link to it, whatever. They're not doing that. So how would I know how to find it? I was unable to find it. It's happened before many times. 8 years here going on. I mean, over 8 years doing this. So anyway, I don't know who these people are. This, like I said, not the first time, not the first bunch of people. What in the world is going on over here? I think somebody's on stilts. Yeah, because I'm looking and say, that is an awfully tall person. I'm not going to show it because there are kids over there. But, oh, wait a minute. That is an awfully tall person. This is Texas. Hello. Okay. Boy, I'm really doing conversational here, huh? If you were sitting right next to me, it wouldn't sound so odd. Hopefully you're never sitting right next to me. That would be kind of creepy. Just nothing against you. I don't know who you are. Anyway, that was all a joke. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it would make more sense. Or if you saw my face, you know, anybody. I know that. Okay, you're not going to hit me. And they don't need to be in your lane. Seriously, they did not need to be in your lane. Nobody's parked next to me. So, anyway, talking to myself, yeah. Anyway, I do see, let's get back to this, besides that really tall person. Like, as if I'm not. But, the gentle giant. Anyway, I do see this. Now, what would I recommend? Like I said, it would be very difficult because there's so much going on. Plus, you know, like if I'm only seeing a certain sect, let's call it, you know, of people who are doing this, I don't know if they're referring to somebody else. Sometimes you don't know, like me, you don't know which one am I referring to. Okay, and like I said, they usually often do by a script, practically a script. It seems, you know, not literally, but would it be figuratively? Anyway, they, so you wouldn't know as far as what I say. Okay. Anyway, neither would they. Now, I have said this before. You know, sometimes you start to get a little worried because you think, you know, I've had experience with people actually copycatting me since 1990, but not everybody. I mean, it's been more since I got on YouTube making videos that has happened than any time before. I don't even remember. But I mean, I still have to this day. I got all the videos I made, and within 24 to 48 hours, they would have the same topic. It wasn't just one person. It's like once a year, you know, when you spread it all out, once a year maybe. And like the one that recently copied everything, including my title and my description box. Okay, cut and pasted it. God, this year. Okay, this is how I started off this year, remember? But anyway, so I've seen this kind of thing. Where was I going? Okay, I'm getting distracted again. Let me get back to this. Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe I can get this out without being too distracted. A lot of stuff going on. And people say, well, why don't you go somewhere else? My house is too noisy inside. I'm still wanting to start doing live streams. I got my new computer. I got it for that purpose. But, and I can't figure out how to do Windows 11 total yet. Anyway, 1990. So I've had, 1982 was my first computer. So I've plenty. I've had plenty. But this one, I just guess I'm not putting enough into. Anyway, okay, I'm going to go off on another tangent if I don't get to this. But I see this. That those geeks I mentioned, that certain little genre, that they're setting it up. They're sick of it. They are sick of it. And I see them coming in. And to some, it would seem like they're the ones that are riding on the white horse, is it? They come in and they charge in and, save the day. And they're not narcissistic. They're just tired of it. Because you hear people say this. How can we rid this of happening so much? Who can do what? Well, this is the type. Okay, and they may just do it. And they're actually, to me, what they're going to do is to do everything legally, and they would be the type to do everything legally, and they have enough money to do so. Okay, as a group or as an individual. They have enough money to take it on. And they would not be allowing people to play with their lives. They're going to, I don't even want to mention those things that they say that this other side that it's very illegal, very illegal to get people to stop, to not report them. I've already mentioned some of them that aren't as bad as the ones I'm not going to mention, in other words. But, I mentioned one on the end of a video about that really, really long video about, that they're saying that they got their channels taken down because they dared to report that one person. Now, they may have done something like repeatedly reported over and over and over and I don't know. I don't work for YouTube or any of these other places, so I don't know how they figured it out. But they may have done something that was wrong themselves, that was actually wrong. Their account was threatened to be, they were threatened to be banned or something like that. Whatever it was, they said. So that they were lying and were trying to get people to think, oh, if you go up against them, then this is what's going to happen to you. See, people who, may have a lot of subscribers, somebody popular and a lot of clout, a lot of whatever, would you call it clout? Whatever. And those go up against and report to whatever social media platform that these other people are doing wrong and they're causing this and then that and the other, against terms of service and community guidelines plus, whatever it is. So they're warning them in that way. They're not saying it's a warning, but they're still doing it. You get it? If they were just, they said, I went up against so-and-so and so-and-so or whomever, and they threatened, that social media threatened to cancel me, to ban me, because I dared to go against them. Yeah. Okay, but what a tangled web we weave. That to me looks like a tangled web, doesn't it? All those trees right there, just look at it. But some of these people, some of these things are going on. Like I said, there are some geeks out there, and especially if they are from these old geeks, the original group members is what I call. I'd say that their children called them, but there's some of them that have changed their ways, and they see how bad stuff has turned out, and they're older, and they're, say, Christian or whatever religion, and they want to make things right. You know what I'm saying? Legally. Think about it. Anyway, wrapping it up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.